What should one watch out for in terms of what Japan may take out of the likely outcome, especially when it comes to the dismantlement of the ICBM?
Yeah, this is one of the nightmare scenarios for Japan is that there's too much of a focus on the long-range ICBM. President Trump himself has tweeted out that the testing, there has been a moratorium on testing that hasn't been there, that's not binding by any means. But this should be enough. I think what would be a difficult situation for Japan to accept would be just keeping a freeze on the testing. In a worse scenario would be one that focuses predominantly on the ICBM and doesn't address the short and medium range capabilities, which are not only covered under UN Security Council sanctions, but also have been part of the U.S.'s longstanding approach vis-a-vis civet or now final and fully verified dismantlement.
So, John, let me quickly jump in with a couple of questions. I mean, the end goal, complete denuclearization, if that is ever, if they're ever able to achieve that, neither Japan nor South Korea are going to be good with this, right? Because what DPRK actually wants is basically troops off the Korean Peninsula, anything that constitutes a nuclear umbrella out of the way. And as far as Japan and South Korea go, they're just not going to go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, from Japan's perspective, I mean, while South Korea is definitely a security concern, and we saw that in the past year with the missiles that were flying over Japanese territory, the short, medium, and long-term challenge is China. So any impact to U.S. commitment and nuclear umbrella has to be looked at in that lens as well. So this is not just a fishbowl scenario where you can just look at the threat from North Korea, but Japan is also looking long-term at U.S. commitment in the region vis-a-vis China.
So, Jonathan, you know, a lot of people look at and talk about the relationship that the DPRK has with China. That's their basically one and only umbilical cord, right? But with regards to Japan, and I'm sure you know this, and it's been the case for decades now, there's been significant illicit funding from Japan. These would be Koreans who've been there for generations, right? In organized crime, vice, etc., that get up to North Korea, and you would expect would be funding their nuclear program as well. In terms of the sanctions, has enough been done to choke off that flow?
Yeah, I think, I mean, this is something that Japan tries to address. Japan essentially has two tracks with North Korea, one focused on the missile program and nuclear program, the other one largely focused on the bilateral track, and the abductions issue is big on that. And I think through its unilateral sanctions, and this is something the UN I think has not been able to be as effective on this, but through Japan's unilateral sanctions, they've tried to tighten the vice a little bit on some of the remittances that have been going back, and some of the traffic, the maritime container traffic as well. So there's been attempts at it, but there's no perfect solution on this issue.
Hi, I'm Emily Tan, and thanks for watching CNBC. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more. Thanks for watching.